Hey everyone, welcome back. Hayden Crabtree here, and today I'm going to talk about turnkey real estate investing, why I think turnkey real estate investing is a smart play for a lot of people. And if you're not familiar with what turnkey real estate investing is, we're going to go over that. A lot of people have heard about it because it's a hot topic right now. It fits a lot of people's needs to be a turnkey real estate investor. So we're going to go through, what turnkey investing is, the pros to turnkey, the cons, and then I also want to talk about when it's right for somebody, kind of the advantages, disadvantages, what people should look out for. And then at the very end of this video, I want to talk to you guys about an alternative to turnkey investing that in my eyes has less risk, but all of the same benefits, that maybe if you haven't thought about doing this before, it'd be a smart play for you to look into this strategy, look into this investment type before you go out and spend money on a turnkey real estate investment, okay? So that's the goal of today. I want you guys to do me a quick favor, hit the like button, subscribe to the channel. We're gonna be dropping more content not only today, but later this week and more in the future. So please hit that like button and subscribe so you can see every single video I drop, increasing your real estate knowledge, getting you one step closer to making good decisions and reaching financial freedom. So turnkey real estate investing. What is turnkey real estate investing? Why is it so hot right now? Should you be a turnkey real estate investor? Let's talk quickly about what it means in my eyes to be a turnkey real estate investor. There are really three keys to getting a real estate deal done. Number one is the deal itself. Number two is the management, both the investment management and the property management. And number three is the capital piece. So if you want to be a real estate investor, you have to figure out these three sides of this triangle, right? You have to have deals, you have to have the management to keep them running smoothly, and you have to have the capital to put them all together. Well, what turnkey real estate investing does is it solves some of those problems for you. Normally, the path of a real estate investor looks something like this. I go out into the market, I try to find a deal, I try to run the numbers on the deal. Once I have the deal, under contract, moving forward, I feel good about that deal. What I then want to do is I want to go and I want to put the management piece together. Now, I like to do my investment management myself, and I like to outsource the property management. So for me, what a lot of people, would be thinking in my shoes is I have to go find a good property manager to manage this property. I have to systemize it somehow. And then I have to kind of put the capital piece together so I can actually buy this deal, whether it be debt and equity or whatever the structure of that capital is. So I have to go find deals, put the management together, and then buy it with capital. So kind of the difference in the traditional route and the turnkey route is that whenever you want to be a turnkey investor, you're essentially going to a turnkey real estate provider. There's these different companies that provide turnkey deals, and essentially all this is you're just the capital in the deal, right? They bring you the deal, they already have management in place, right? And this management is normally done by the people who are actually selling you the deal. So the management's already in place, they bring you the deal, and all you really need to do is fund the deal. All you need to do is bring the capital to the table. So a lot of times we'll even have lenders already lined up in these turnkey deals so that whenever you come, literally all you need to do is say, yes, I'll buy this house, in wherever it may be. Turnkey is everywhere. It's anywhere from, Memphis to Tampa, everywhere in the country, mainly in Texas. But a lot of times turnkey properties, are single family where everything is in place and all you really need to do is bring the equity to the table and own it. So for people who are thinking, well, why would I want to be a turnkey investor? Well, turnkey properties are really, really beneficial if you don't have a lot of time, if you don't have a lot of expertise to dive into markets and management and everything of that nature that comes along with being a real estate investor, then actually being a turnkey investor could be a pretty good strategy because you don't have to spend massive amounts of time, and that's really the advantage of being a turnkey investor is as soon as you, say, I'm going to do this deal, that's pretty much all you have to do. You wire the money and then everything is already set up and in place. And so that comes with its downfalls, but the good thing about it is that, you don't have to worry about finding property managers, getting contractors lined up, sometimes you have to find lenders, but a lot of time lenders will already be in place. Literally, this is one to be as turnkey as possible, as easy as possible, and that's the advantage. And that's why it attracts a lot of people, because a lot of people who have money to invest in real estate have a full-time job. They're very busy people. That may be you, that may not be you. But a lot of people, they have extra cash, they need tax benefits, but they don't have the time to really dive in. And another huge benefit is that you can invest at a distance. Say if you live in California, you can invest in Florida or Texas or wherever. You can invest at a distance and have some level of confidence. Now, I say some level of confidence because even if you are, going with a turnkey provider, those people, anybody is never going to look after your property like you would look after your property. So you still have to make sure you practice good investment management and manage your property managers on an ongoing basis. But really the pros of being a turnkey investor is that everything's in place for you. It's not a whole lot of work either on the front end or on the ongoing side to be a turnkey investor. It's very, very simple, very straightforward, very low amounts of time. Now let's talk about the disadvantages of being a turnkey investor. Because you're buying essentially this investment package from a turnkey provider, and normally these turnkey providers are real estate investors kind of like myself who go out, who find deals, who fix properties up. Maybe they find some deals that need to be flipped. They go out, they find these deals, they fix them up, and they essentially run the numbers and they sell it. They set the price of the property to sell it to you at what they know will entice somebody, right? So if they know that at $100,000, this property is going to generate 12% cash flow for somebody, given market rate financing and how the whole project's going to play out. If they know it's going to pay 12%, they might say, well, why don't we bump our profits up a little bit to where we can get to around 7 to 8%? Because we know people in the market right now will buy at 7 to 8% cash flow, right? 7 to 8% cash on cash is where we can get people to raise their hands and say, I want to buy this, I want to buy this, right? So those people, even though, let's say they bought that property for $50,000, put $30,000 into it, they're all in at $80,000, instead of going and saying, hey, why don't we sell this thing at $100,000 where we can make some profit and then we can still keep the management contract on the back end, essentially what they're going to do is they're going to say, well, really, let's just goal seek whatever we need to sell this thing for so that we can, get our end investor about 7 to 8%. So because the people selling you the deal are so familiar with real estate, how real estate works, a lot of times they're squeezing a ton of that profit out of the deal for you and keeping it for themselves, which is fine. I mean, that's capitalism. If there's buyers and there's sellers that can meet at a fair price that both people agree upon, then that's a free market, and I'm okay with that. You just have to understand that turnkey investing, and really one of the biggest downfalls of being a turnkey investor, is you are not going to ever receive outrageous amounts of profit. You're never going to buy a deal that produces 15, 20, 25%, 40%. I analyzed a deal this morning that had 37% cash on cash year one. You will never find that in a turnkey deal. Those deals just don't exist, right? You really have to go and try and use other strategies if you ever want to find something with really high returns, the type of deals that are going to build true wealth. Now, real estate in general, these 7 to 8% cash on cash, they will build true wealth over the long term, but it's really hard, to build a huge cash flowing portfolio at 7, 8, 9% cash on cash. You can do it 100%, but you need to have some form of value add if you're going to invest in low cash on cash deals like that. What I mean by that is if you're going to invest in a deal that has 7 to 8% cash on cash, and that's really the highest it's ever going to get, or that's where you go in, you need to have some sort of strategy to go in, make the property nicer, increase the rents, and therefore increase the value in your equity. And with turnkey, kind of the downside is that all of those things have already been squeezed out of the deal for you, right? No turnkey provider is ever going to come to you and going to say, hey, we have this deal you can buy, we'll manage it for you, but we'll give you, the $50,000, $100,000 of profit that's in the deal. They're going to squeeze all those profits out for themselves, and that's really a form of, the value they're adding. You don't have to pay a lot of attention, but you're also not going to get a whole huge amount of profits, right? So that's why turnkey investing, kind of has its disadvantages. Another disadvantage of turnkey investing is you're going with one person, essentially, meaning the person selling you the deal, the person who managed the rehab, and the person who also wants to manage the property on an ongoing basis. Normally, that's all the same person, and so you have to feel very confident in that one person. In my business, I have a lot of checks and balances, right? The person who sells me the deal is different from the person who manages the deal, is different from the person who does this type of work on it, right? All of these things are diversification, and essentially what that means is that I'm not relying on just one person, and especially I'm not relying on one person at a distance. I have a lot of different people to tell me if they see something that looks funky, and really you're not going to get that with turnkey, right? And whenever you're turnkey investing, you have one person normally, and they're getting, they're selling you the deal, they're inspecting the deal, they're doing everything. So you just have to feel really confident in that one person. You really have to vet that company, that person out who's doing that. So that's a disadvantage that I see to turnkey investing. Doesn't mean you shouldn't do it, just means it's something you have to consider. All right, so now I want to talk about who is turnkey real estate investing really made for, who is turnkey investing cut out for, and to figure out if this is a strategy you should go after or not. Where the way I see it is that turnkey investing is made for people who have money, who don't want to invest in the stock market, who want to get involved in real estate, who want to make the tax benefits, who want to get cash flow, who want appreciation, who want to have real assets in their portfolio. That is for you, but kind of the people that it's not for is the people who who have a lot of time, who can go out and find really good deals. And whether you have a lot of money or don't have a lot of money, it doesn't really matter. If you have a lot of time, you can go hunt for deals, then I don't think turnkey investing is for you. But if you have a lot of money and not a lot of time, I think turnkey investing is something that you really should, kind of look for as a potential strategy for you. Whether that's your long-term strategy, maybe not. But if you have money sitting in a bank account today, you don't have time to go invest in deals, and you think that money's just going to be sitting there, turnkey deals could be for you, because that's a way to get your money going, your money growing and your money flowing, right? You can get your equity growth, you can kind of save some money on the tax benefits in the meantime, and you can get that cash flow, really chugging. If it's better than sitting in a bank account, right? So even if you get 7-8%, that's better than the 0.001% that you get in a bank account today. So that could be a really good strategy for you. And then whenever you potentially do have more time in the future, you could look at these deals that you bought and you could say, okay, well, I'll 1031 out of these, tax-free into other deals that I think are really, really good deals, right? So if you're somebody like a doctor or a lawyer who doesn't have a lot of time, who can't, necessarily build a team of people to go out and hunt deals for you, then turnkey could be something that you want to explore. With that being said, I want you guys to consider one alternative to turnkey investing, because turnkey, what we're saying is the advantages is that you're going to go out and you're going to let somebody else source every single aspect for you, from deals to management and everything. But one thing that you should consider that has the same advantages is investing with a syndicator or a sponsor. It's essentially somebody else like myself who goes out in the markets, and all we do full time is look for deals and put deals together. Now, a successful syndicator will have hopefully a lot of money if they're just getting started and they don't have a lot of money and they really need you. But kind of the benefit to doing deals with other syndicators is that you can do bigger and bigger and bigger deals. So if I were to go out and I were to buy a deal just on my own, just Hayden, then I can only afford so much. Even though I'm a successful real estate investor, real estate's expensive. It's very capital intensive. So if I find a really good deal that's, say, 5 times the size of what I could normally afford on my own, and I can bring in 5 different people who have the same level of wealth as me, who have the same, willingness to invest, the same amount of capital to invest, then we could do a deal that's 5 times bigger than what I could normally do on my own. So we just went from doing, a $2 to $3 million deal to a $10 to $15 million deal. And why I think that that's really powerful is because it diversifies our income stream. Whenever we're talking about doing single family homes, and that's what a lot of turnkey investments are, single family or duplexes, we have a certain level of risk because we only have one door. And I talk about this in my book, Skip the Flip. We want to diversify our risk, right? We want to have a bigger number of tenants, because having a smaller number of tenants is our risk is really high. Whenever we have a low number of tenants, we have less people paying us money, and the idea that one of those people defaults, doesn't pay us our rent, well, there goes some of our income stream. So if we could go from, buying a 2 unit to a 20 unit, then that's going to be a lot more powerful for everybody involved, whether it be the person who's raising the money or whether it be somebody like you who wants to invest in a deal. Your income stream is a lot more stable the more and more units and doors you can buy. So if you want something where you don't have to spend a lot of time, people are going to find the deals for you, people are going to manage both property management and asset management, and you just want to bring the capital to the table, one alternative to turnkey investing is investing in things like syndications with sponsors, to where people could be buying anything. They could be buying single family homes, not very likely, right? But they could be buying things like apartment complexes, storage facilities like I do, industrial buildings, whatever they may be. Whenever you invest with other people, you can do bigger deals that often present a lot lower risk, and you can get the same kind of returns. And oftentimes you can even get better returns than you were going to go with just the turnkey provider, because people like me, syndicator sponsors, we want to put terms out there that are enticing, that get people who would traditionally go with turnkey to say, wow, I can be completely hands off on a smaller piece of this big pie than owning 100% of this smaller pie, and I can get higher returns over here and less risk, and I'm dealing with somebody who's professional. And a lot of times, there's checks and balances in place because the person who put the deal together doesn't manage the deal, and they have a full team going on. So it's just one alternative to being a turnkey investor. If you're somebody who wants, to invest, let's say passively, as in you just put the capital in and the deal and the management piece takes care of itself, you could do turnkey deals. Or if you want to go bigger and have lower risk, you could invest with a syndicator, a sponsor, whatever you want to call it these days. days. Somebody like myself who puts deals together and raises money to collectively go out and buy bigger and bigger deals. Anyways, I hope this was helpful. If you have any questions about turnkey investing, drop your questions below. If you have any questions about syndication, sponsors, or investing with people like myself, again, you can drop a comment below. In the meantime, if you liked the video, please hit the like button, share this with a friend. It would, help me out a whole lot. I don't do any sort of advertisements or anything here. So if you could share this with a friend to help grow my channel, I would super appreciate it. In the meantime, you can check out some other videos here, and I'll see you guys in the next one.